I guess I should give you Kevin's number.
Who?
Kevin Figure's number.
Oh, I have it now.
I just got some tea.
Because I'm sitting here streaming and I had to stop the stream. And everyone's like, what the hell?
Really? There's only one. Why do you need to wait? Why did you need to stop?
Because I had to text K-Dog.
Are you wait? So now you have to do a
Kevin Figures.
pause the stream, right? You don't have
You know what? I effed it up. I stopped it.
Yeah, we needed to.
Because I had to text Kevin.
Oh, I'm sorry. How many people were watching last time you said?
About 80, 90.
Yeah, it peaked at like 90.
We will slowly gather up people.
I think so.
Just very slowly.
You go to school tomorrow.
And this is decaffeinated. Look, decaffeinated, and this one is always decaffeinated.
An 8-year-old Guatemalan boy, Guatemalan boy.
Super Hyper Local Sunday with Brian Suits.
Well, we start with breaking news from Hollywood. People stabbed.
It looks like we're coming to a stop out here. The door is open. This guy is getting out of the vehicle. What? Oh, he's got a gun. He has got a gun. Yeah, this is not going to end very well.
That's why I'm voting for Eric Garcetti.
Super Hyper Local Sunday with Brian Suits.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating, targeted, super hyper local Sunday. Hour number 2, the depressing hour. We've pushed a lot of hit and runs and stuff like that into this hour, but worry not. Kevin Figures. I by the way, I stopped. If you want to see the live stream, you can go to you can go to YouTube, unsheepyourself.com. Go to the Dark Secret Place channel on YouTube, or just go right to unsheepyourself.com. And we're live streaming and having discussions during commercials and things like that. Anyway, so we will talk with El Sports Ball Caliente, the hot sports ball. Kevin Figures at the bottom of the hour. Final Four is set, and the Doyers have started the 2019 season with a whole bunch of runs and deja vu. Man in the hospital after a beating. After the marathon game, I'm sorry, the game was at Michael Chappé. What was the score? 18-3. The game that that this guy was beaten badly, was it? Yeah, and that was last night, or was it Friday night? Yeah, that's right. It was that marathon game that the Doyers lost, and it was shades of Brian Stowe. And so anyway, a man in critical condition after a horrible beating late after a Dodgers loss. We'll get to that. Well, I just thought I would play this because it cracked me up, because the English can be so funny. And the lead singer of The Cure, Robert Smith, is beloved to all of you who grew up on The Cure in the 80s and 90s here in Los Angeles. The Cure has a special place in LA's heart, and LA has a special place in The Cure's heart. But anyway, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in wherever, Cleveland, wherever the hell that scam is. And the woman working the red carpet, I don't know her name. Apparently she did some freak out over a missile test in Vandenberg. And this ceremony might have been here in LA. It's really, I don't know what the provenance on this is. But here's a clip of her welcoming The Cure onto the red carpet to come to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And this is a absolute quintessential example of English snark.
Congratulations, The Cure, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Index 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
So, it is so English. It is so damn. If it was too fast for you, let me tell you what he says. She says, "Are you excited as me?" is the question, and his answer is, "By the sounds of it, no."
2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
And he's sitting there looking at her, and I edited a bunch off. I edited 10 seconds of gush about, oh, here they come, the cure, ah! And this is when she actually collects her thoughts. Oh, wait, no, that's the sadtrombone.com.
Congratulations, the Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
So perfect. Years ago, I saw this hilarious interview of some award show in Britain, and the police had won some award, and they were kind of up and coming, but they were on the other side of the world in Indonesia, and they had someone by satellite when the police won. Somebody by satellite was talking to them backstage, and her question was, when you recorded the album Zenyatta Mandata, did you think that you would win Best New Album in Britain backstage before you went on stage in Jakarta, Indonesia? And Sting, without skipping a beat, deadpan, just said, yes. That was my pantheon of great snarky responses until this.
Congratulations, the Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
That's where it cuts off. I don't think she would have understood. You know who would have done a better red carpet job is.
Yes! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
I can't believe I didn't edit that together with Robert Smith. But so anyway, that happened last night, and it led Twitter for a long time today, because it is, if Martians land and say, take us to the driest, snarkiest Englishman, you would play this.
Congratulations, the Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
Yeah, there you go. Some high-profile Democrats, Cory Booker and Kamala Harris, were in Los Angeles earlier today, or last night, I mean, to pander to LA's LGBT community.
Presidential hopefuls are in the LA area tonight.
Yeah, they're attending a very high-profile event for LGBTQ rights. KCO9's Greg Mills is live in downtown LA to explain. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening, Chris. Yeah, both of them have their eyes on the White House. They'd like to be there, say, in 2021 after the 2020 election. One is from California.
Thanks for explaining that, by the way.
The other is spending a lot of time here. The LA Live Marriott comes alive. The nation's largest LGBTQ civil rights organization, the Human Rights Campaign, with a dazzling red carpet, followed by their 2019 LA Gala dinner. Big name guests, including 2 senators, hoping to be the Democrats' choice for president in 2020. Kamala Harris and Cory Booker.
We are on the center stage of this country. The nation's future hangs in our balance. Let us swear.
I should probably point out, this is Cory Booker.
The oath that we will stand up and make this country what we say we are. A nation where everyone is equal under the law. A nation where everyone has liberty and justice. A nation.
And he can deliver platitudes, as you can hear, and saccharine banalities. But get ready for this, because they're all coming out here, because this is where the money is. This is where the Democrat entertainment industry money is. If you're holding your breath waiting for Beto, for Robert O'Rourke, for Bobby Beto O'Rourke to come out here, you might be holding your breath for a long time, because his wife is an heiress to $1 billion. His wife is a billionaire heiress. He married well, is what he did. And so he doesn't need California's slutty money. But he will be out here, though, because somebody has to win California. And this is the primary. And I don't know if Bobby O'Rourke ever set foot in California as a politician. But I think he's got an uphill battle here. So anyway, Kamala, the reason we don't have Kamala audio is because she was speaking when they were doing that report. But I'm sure she talked about challenges in the future and the whole thing, and it was all very good. And then she spelled out her name so you can write checks to her. When we come back, a horrific accident on the 405. Stalled car in the Diamond Lane. and the entirely predictable thing happening around 10 o'clock last night, 10:30 last night. We'll get to that right after this. It is Super Hyper Local Sunday. Brian Suits here until 10 p.m. If you've seen a really awesome free couch, take a picture, give us the location, hashtag have you seen a free couch. KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. Michael Chappé with the news.
I'm looking through your hair now. Do not be alarmed.
No, don't do that.
Brian,
What?
are you getting that audio, the double audio? In your,
Yeah.
Same thing as last time, where it's like a TV feed.
And it's not on the air. People who are
Oh,
listening,
they confirm this.
they can't hear it. It's only in our system here.
All right.
And I've wondered, I've never matched up that audio with what we're watching on TV. I think it's something in there.
I think it sounds like it's the feed of like the external feed, like you hear what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Very quietly.
Look, here's the 53 loyal people who came back after I fucked up the stream.
Ooh.
Are all the mochis gone?
Yeah.
You ate all the mochis.
Wet Willie.
I know. What are the odds that Cory Booker came and spoke at the LGBTQ S&M ASAPs?
I thought you were about to say ASMR.
Yeah, we got all kinds of hit and runs this weekend.
It's gonna be your bumper music.
That is on the northbound side at Stadium Way. That is starting to clear to the shoulder, but you're still looking at slowing from the 10. In South LA, I should say 110 South at Century. This is a crash in the center lane. Slowed up from
Dad, what's this?
West LA, Ponce out Park,
Dad.
north at Sunset.
What's this?
I don't know what's back there.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Can't find the sky, picture it faster. I'm Jeffrey Welker.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue the freedom of education or to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Getting ready for our 2019 iHeartCountry Festival. Florida Georgia Line. Dan and Shay. Luke Combs, Little Big Town, and so many more. Saturday, May 4th. Listen live
Now,
on iHeartCountry stations.
if any of you people know who Billie Eilish is, and if you have heard a radio station play her music, a music station, play her music, can you tell me what radio station that is? Because I would love to know. And also, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't like going on boats. They make me paranoid.
If you own a pair of Skechers, this ad is not for you because you already know they're the most comfortable shoes on the planet. For those who never
My Vans are super comfortable Skechers.
Show everybody your Vans.
I don't have my Vans. I have my cowboy boots.
experience Skechers seamless knits, you're missing out. That's like never petting
Because I don't want to put them on. They're annoying to put on.
So there was a drive-by in Norwalk, and they got the guy had an HK, a G3, not a HK 53. No, I'm sorry, it's a 53. It's a 556 HK. I used to have one of those. You know, all respect to HK and everything, but this is Not a gun for a lefty. All the HKs, the G3s and HK 53s, not for lefties. The Germans, fuck you lefties. And then, of course, a crappy Tech 9.
This commercial.
I know.
I know, it's like,
Oh, he drops a bomb on us and his dad died.
yeah. And after I killed my dad, I mean, what?
That's the subtext. Yeah,
Whoa.
he doesn't really say how
That
it happened.
commercial just showed a woman in a thong. I am scared. Oh, Lord.
How much time? Oh. I should have edited Robert Smith.
Congratulations, the Pure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sound of it, no. By the sound of it.
Oh, oh, oh.
For modern, up-to-date home insurance for less, go to myhippo.com/handle, myhippo.com/handle. That's myhippo.com/handle.
By the sounds of it, no. By the sounds of it, no.
KFI AM 640 more stimulating talk. It is super hyper local Sunday. Brian sits in here until 10 p.m. You still have time to get your hashtag Have You Seen a Free Couch up there. Well, it was a ugly accident last night. Fountain Valley 405 in the HOV lanes. A stalled car. And I mean, that is, I don't know anyone in LA above the age of a driver's license who doesn't have that nightmare where you're somewhere in the Southern California freeway, you're stalled in an HOV lane at night. A car containing a family of 5 that had stalled on the 405 in Fountain Valley struck from behind, prompting a chain reaction crash that left a young boy dead. Several people injured last night, according to CHP. Around 10:50 p.m., the driver of a black Toyota failed to see the car stopped in the northbound HOV lane, collided with it from behind, and then struck another car. So it turns out possible DUI on that guy's part, and maybe he had impaired reaction time. But I gotta say, driving as I do around, at least here in the Valley, late at night, getting off at 11 a.m. on Saturday night or 10 p.m. here on the Sunday night, I know that the freeway speed, road speed is 70 to 80 miles an hour, and if there was, and there are stretches. Most of the 170 is lit. 134 largely is lit. I-5 can be lit in certain places, but the nightmare for me here is like driving home after work not impaired. If I'm in the HOV lanes on like the 14, which are wide open to people in the off hours, there's loads and loads, there's miles of that are not lit. And if somebody was just stalled in the HOV lane, this could be me. Or getting stalled in the HOV lane. I mean, thing one is if your car goes clunk anywhere, put the flashers on. And I mean, I think it's less risky to actually get off the highway than to stay in the car. I mean, with a flashlight or whatever, but I mean, I would rather risk waving at cars as I'm crossing lanes to get to the far shoulder than stay in the car. But anyway, I wasn't there last night, and that's what happened. Well, any normal weekend here on Super Hyper Local Sunday, we would be leading with this story. Knife-wielding man claiming to be the devil has vandalized a Temecula auto dealership, a Hyundai dealership. The guy might not like Koreans. 30 cars vandalized, $100,000 damage. And these guys at this dealership are going above and beyond the Call of Duty on this. More than 30 cars were vandalized by the devil on Saturday morning in Temecula. Employees of the Temecula Hyundai dealership confronted the man after he was found smashing windows, keying cars, and slashing tires in the parking lot. And here's the deal. It wasn't just new cars on display. He was slashing and keying employees' cars. I'm surprised the devil's alive. Dealership manager Steve Nicholson, who probably should greenlight a sponsorship of Dark Secret Place, said, quote, "It was exciting there for a bit. We had made up our mind and said we're going to subdue him one way or another until the police get here," close quote. And that's why I would say, Steve, you and your team, you should be sponsoring the Dark Secret Place. You're our kind of chap. We like the cut of your jib. Employees were able to surround the man and hold him down until officials from the Temecula Police Department arrived and helped them safely detain him. When police asked for his name, he said, quote, "I don't have a name. I'm the devil." This is according again to the manager, Steve Nicholson. The man was carrying a knife he allegedly used to carve symbols of devil worship into cars parked around the lot, which does not enhance their value, by the way, some of which belonged to employees. He also carried a backpack that had more weapons in it, according to Steve Nicholson, the dealership manager. He estimated $100,000 worth of damages were caused in total. Reports of vandalism were received from other dealerships and businesses. So I don't know cars well enough. I guess maybe we should have gotten Steve Nicholson, the dealership manager of Temecula Hyundai, on there, because he sounds like a great guy. But can you sell that car as new? If there's no other damage, but the driver's side, window, or it's been keyed, and you can repair it 1,000%. There's no sign of the damage. Can you still sell that car in California? Can you sell that car as new? Because it's not a body repair. Yeah, it's not frame or body. It's cosmetic. But I would still want to know. Hey, I love this car. I love Hyundais. They're a very well kept secret. Amazing quality. Before I sign this, did the devil key it? I don't think it would. Keyed by devil. Yes. Oh, God, that son of a bitch, the devil keyed this. It'd be worth it just catching him. Like John Travolta says. It'd be worth just catching the devil and the fruits of his evil. Keying my car, that SOB. To heck with the devil, I say. So anyway, there's your free plug for Temecula Hyundai. If you, like me, shout at the devil, then go shop at Hyundai of Temecula. And maybe you'll be lucky enough to get a devil-keyed car. When we come back, dead man found in the Santa Clara riverbed. Also, the 118 to the 210 transition. A really bizarre motorcycle accident happened there. Also, a man driving a forklift full of chickens killed. those two things coming up. Really weird. This at a time when you can't buy chickens because of the Newcastle virus. So questions abound when we come back. KFI AM640. It is Super Hyper Local Sunday. Brian Suits in here until Robert Smith says.
By the sounds of it, no.
Michael should pay with the news.
I have a
Did
question.
he?
Why does this button say "Do not touch"? Why have it if it says "Do not touch"?
Wait, where does it say "Do not touch"?
This green button says "Do not touch" on it. Then why have the button? You're not supposed to touch it.
I know.
So when are we gonna go?
Marine Corps officials are investigating after two pilots died in a helicopter crash in Arizona. A statement from the Marine Corps station says
At 10.
last night about 8:45,
Push it. Push it real good.
pilots killed have not been released by the families. The Rose Bowl has turned the final Friday of each month into one big tailgate. Food trucks, picnic tables, and games occupy.
By the sounds of it, no.
It's called Final Friday, so we're doing it the last Friday of every month. Rose Bowl skins.
So on the, if you know the valley, then you know the 118, goes from Simi Valley to the 210, right, from west to east. At the east 118 to the north 210, the transition is a high transition road, and a motorcycle, either the guy was going too fast and he couldn't maintain his bank, but he went off the transition and landed on a lower transition dead. His legs stayed up on the 118. Because you know what it sounds like to me? Sounds like he's ripping on a rice rocket, and he went into that curve and he couldn't maintain it, and he kissed the concrete and it severed his leg, and he went making that face. Really nasty. The leg stayed up there with the Suzuki.
Kevin's good.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Excellent. Do I have time to pee? Sure. Do I have time to pee? Excellent.
And then I'll be the new Brian Suits.
No, I'm gonna go to an actual bathroom.
Don't act disgusted by that.
I'm gonna sleep under the stars. Man, it's a pleasure. We've been Chicago. It's a beautiful.
So I'm the new Brian Suits. I'm all alone in this area. So, hi guys. Now I can say whatever I want. Yes, it's the Reagan Suits Show. Today we will be doing Have You Seen a Free Bed? And we are the truth. Hello. So, the truth. The truth is that I don't really know that much of the truth. I like being on the station, except that I need to wake up at 7 tomorrow. Oh, about my dad. Okay. There's a lot of truth about my dad. He farts a lot. And my chickens are doing better. It is the Reagan Suits Show. Do not spoil.
I gotta get back there.
Huh.
Well, here, you know what I'll do? I'll mess with your ears and stuff like you do.
I didn't mess with your ears.
You mess with my ears.
I messed with your hair. It's a very big difference. He spoiled the Reagan Suits Show.
I gotta play another. No, I won't play The Cure.
He spoiled the.
I'm Frank Gifford. In the glory days of Rome, the Colosseum.
With the largest design showroom in Southern California, experienced designers, and they'll meet
It's math. That's my favorite subject. First of all, I'm good at it. The teacher's good. I love math. I'm not the biggest fan of social studies. because my teacher doesn't really teach it well sometimes. Like, I love her, but she doesn't teach it that well sometimes.
There's a STEM, science, math, engineering academy called
Actually,
the
and also
Stealth
arts.
School, and their mascot is a B2, and she doesn't want to go there. And I said, yeah, but there's a B2.
Is a raider.
We're going to play the Raiders song, The Autumn Wind. The Autumn Wind is a Raider.
It's $1,000. Oh, I don't know. I guess I get tacos for all of my friends. Don't forget, listen for your cue text. Weekdays between 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. and 20 after.
By the sounds of it, no.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. It is Super Hyper Local Sunday. I don't know why I'm playing the Raiders thing. Brian sits here till 10 o'clock. Just because, you know why? It is time for Sports Ball. El Sports Ball Caliente. Kevin Figures joins us. Probably the biggest Raiders fan in the building. Am I just making that up? They're not. Great song though. Yeah, the autumn wind is a Raider.
In from sea with a rollicking song.
John Facenda. You know what he was? You know what he did in real life for a living before he voiced all the NFL films with his iconic pipes. He was a news anchor in Pittsburgh. He was the David what's his name, David Ono, David. Well, anyway, he was a news anchor at KDKA in Pittsburgh. John Facenda. Can you imagine that voice delivering your news? Yeah.
He sweeps along.
No, just
swaggering boisterously.
he probably just walked in off the street and was a one-take wonder. Well, I did. I caught, I think, less games than prior tournaments, but I think I caught most of the Sweet 16. I was surprised Gonzaga went down, but also I ran out of Fs to give because I've never liked Gonzaga. Well, first of all, I'm from 60 miles. I went to school 60 miles south of them, and we owned them in the 80s. And here's my question for you: is how many years is it your year before someone just labels you overhyped? I mean, how many times it's been 15 years that it's their year? You know, that was the high tide. Not since like Villanova, has a school that small gotten that far. But no, I just got tired of hearing about how it was their year. Anyway, so we got it now. Duke choking a little later than usual, so they're not. So Michigan State, Texas Tech for the first time, Auburn, and I don't know if you knew this. If you watched NBA or if you watched any of the tournament, You may not know this, Kevin, but Charles Barkley went to Auburn. Yeah, they dropped that bomb on us today. Yeah. Did you get the feeling that the freshman phenom Zion, that he playing hard today, or was he already counting his NBA money? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And for people who don't know what we're talking about, the deal is the NBA has a rule that you can't come. You have to do 1 year in college before your NBA draftable. So there's these guys called one and dones, and Duke had a spectacular one. Zion Williamson or Williamson, yeah, and a spectacular player. But Duke was beaten by a team with 5 starters that had played 3 years together. And once again, you see the teamwork will beat the one and doners again. So now, here's what I'm saying. Virginia is the 4th team, the Final Four. Virginia's going to win it all because Tony Bennett is a great coach, and I know that because he coached the Washington State University, and where he got Klay Thompson up to Pullman. California, Mr. Basketball. Tony Bennett got him to leave, to turn down UCLA and go to Wazoo in Pullman, Washington. I think Tony Bennett, I hate saying this, and don't tell him I said this, but I think I agree with Tim Cates that Tony Bennett is probably a great choice for UCLA. But when he wins the national championship, he's not going to come to UCLA. No. Yep. Okay. Yeah. And I think it's going to be Michigan State, Virginia in the final. Unless they, yeah. Yeah, and it's going to be Virginia. They're going to win it. All right, the Doyers have really hit it out of the park with the 2 of their first 3 games. Hey. So 8 home runs in the season opener, first team to ever do that. 18 runs last night. What's the deal? Who are these guys? Are they the same guys that went to this World Series last year, but without Clayton Kershaw? Hitting Guru. You know who can hit? My daughter. My daughter can hit a golf ball with a wooden bat, with a Louisville Slugger. I can get 20 feet away and underhand a golf ball to her, and she can hit it over my head and what would be second base. But we just missed the registration for Little League. So if there's any team out there in Santa Clarita or the Antelope Valley that will take a late registration, my daughter is a 9-year-old hitter. She's been hitting since she was 2. She invented a game called Rough and Puff, where I throw the ball to her and she hit it. At the age of 2, she was hitting. She can hit a golf ball with a baseball bat. It's crazy. We're doing it tonight. So that's who can hit. Yeah. All right, El Sports Ball Kelly, Kevin Figures is his real name. You know him down the hall with Rogan and Rodney and Petros and Money and the FNA podcast available wherever you get your podcasts. Down there at our sister station, AM 570 KLAC. You're home of the Doyers for 2019. Thanks for joining us, man. All right, bye. There we go. So we'll be back right after this. A few more mishaps on the highways. One of them you'll clinch a part of your body, an exit door. This is ugly. We'll get to it right after this. It is Super Hyperlocal Sunday. The winner of hashtag Have You Seen a Free Couch right after this on KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. Michael Chappé with the news. Bonk. Oh. After traffic, right?
Around 8 last night, he grabbed the child.
All right.
Her stomach administered several strikes to the back. Now dislodged whatever she was choking on, and she's now recovering in a hospital. Man charged with kidnapping and killing a college student.
Yeah, my daughter invented this game called Rough and Puff, where I would take like a wiffle ball and she had a thin, T-ball bat, and we'd be in the living room watching a Giants game, and I'd have the windows open, and if she hit it off the wall, it was called a Hunter Pence, and if it went out the window, it was a Buster Posey.
Yeah, I remember once it went so far out
So
of
it-
the yard.
So yeah, she was. Hey, Brian Sitzer for Solar Max. You know what? We have hours until the end of March, but boy, does Solar Max have a deal for you in the hours that we have left. You may have heard that utility companies stopped their solar rebate programs, besides murdering people up in Paradise, California. Solar Max says no. They're so committed to making solar affordable for everyone. They're making up for the lost utility savings with the Solar for All rebate. Through the end of March, which is hours away, Solar Max's Solar for All rebate, combined with federal tax incentives, gives ye one last chance to get historic savings up to 35%. That could save you an average of up to $7,500 off of your solar energy system. SolarMax can make this offer because they're the only solar company doing their own financing in-house. Everyone's on a first-name basis. It's not financing in Florida. This is financing in Riverside. You know why? Because that's where the factory is. Oh, factory, yeah, they make the panels in Riverside. They don't go down to Long Beach and crack open a Connex. World-class roofers, the design to construction is all there in Riverside. That's why they can offer this to you. Don't miss your chance to save up to $7,500 on solar. Reserve your rebate now because Solar for All expires at the end of March. Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and say Solar Max, pound 250 on your cell phone. Contact them and say Solar Max, or go to solarmaxtech.com. Subject to credit approval, CSLB number 9er72048.
It turns out it's a stream. It's the outgoing stream. It's on like a 3 to 4 second delay, but it's what you're saying. So it's the radio KFI broadcast stream. So I submitted a ticket for it.
Oh, you could hear it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
So it wasn't TV.
No, but definitely down to the word. I could hear everything you were saying.
And that's like underneath. It's so funny. I tune it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's just normal and well known.
By the way, this just in, hip-hop artist Nipsey Russell, dead at the age of 33. Schools and government buildings will be open tomorrow.
If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org.
Get ready for our 2019 iHeart Country Festival. Florida Georgia Line. Dan and Shay. Luke Combs, Little Big Town, and so many
I've never run Gary and Shannon. I'll be on Kennedy Tuesday night. 6 p.m. on Fox Business, I will be on Kennedy.
American Vision Windows is back with a special offer they call it March Mania. Mix and match two of the following offers for a savings of up to $2,200. Either a free upgrade to the Delmar series, free installation, free sound package, or finally no payment, no interest for 1 full year. And the offer ends on March 31st. CSLB number 778326 cannot be combined with any other offer on approved credit. Call 888-319-8585. 888-319-8585.
And indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Increase your visibility to great candidates with a free sponsored job upgrade on your first job posting at Indeed.com/promo. Sponsored job upgrade is $50 sponsored job credit. Users are charged once the credit is spent or expires. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is you're one step closer to becoming your parents. Soon you'll have a separate fridge in the basement, or extra groceries are exiled forever. Remember that frozen use of milk? Of course you don't. It's been down there since 2008. Good news is it's easily bundled home and on through Progressive and safe for your car insurance.
Were we gonna have a celebrity judge tonight? Or celebrity commentary?
Oh, I didn't talk about Noah McIntosh. Fox Business. It's usually on DirecTV or YouTube TV. It's right by Fox News. I don't know who should. Has everyone on YouTube seen hashtag Have you seen a free couch? What are the winners?
There's some nice sets in there today.
Some guy submitted some great ones about 3 days ago.
The black one?
Same guy. Oh, yeah, these are funny.
And William Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see those like fridges behind it? Whatever they are?
Like, it's actually like propping up the back of the couch.
Yeah.
Clear winner. Some guy had 10.
And when was the 25th? Was that last Sunday?
That was after. That's in the time frame.
Okay.
That's Monday. And that's our winner.
Did you know that 1 in 8 Americans struggle with hunger? Yet more than 40% of the
We're gonna have Reagan describe the.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Ukaipa. What has the most? So he has 10.
Yeah.
That one. That is.
It's a shame
not
because
bad.
it's not the best. I feel like it's only because it's been there the longest that it has the most votes. 'Cause
Yeah.
all the other ones have like 3 or 4.
We're judging. Have you seen a free couch?
My hair is dead.
He's got his son's trophies or something on that couch too. It's a box full of trophies.
Really?
So these energy drinks, do you know why they call them an energy drink? I drank one the other day and I didn't even feel anything.
What's in them? It's always guarine.
It's not even green tea. That's what constitutes an energy drink these days.
There's a lot of caffeine in green tea,
Sure,
but it's
I love
just
it.
caffeine.
For tea, that's like the max. I love
Yeah.
it. You know? Or actually, I think black might have one.
You know what I got into? I bought a bunch of hibiscus at Vallarta Mart.
So good.
I'm
Fresh hibiscus
addicted
tea?
to that.
Tea?
Yeah.
Do you dry the leaves out?
They come kind of moist. I boil a bunch,
Yeah.
and then add honey while it's warm and lemon juice, and then cool it. It's the most refreshing. Hey, close your ears. It's the most refreshing fucking drink I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. On ice? Oh my god.
It's amazing.
But can I judge the couches too?
No, it's okay. KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk. That Netflix movie about Motley Crue, they don't cover when they made this song at all. I was really surprised that Sweet Child of Mine by Motley Crue is not part of the Netflix movie The Dirt.
I thought it was Poison.
Blew me away. Yeah. Except they didn't do that. That was the Who, but I'll forgive you. But yeah, Google it. Let's just agree to disagree. So look it up. Google it. So hit and run driver fatally struck a female pedestrian in Pomona. That happened this weekend. Really weird one. The driver of a truck delivering chickens from Fresno was killed at 1 a.m. A truck driver in Pacoima unloading crates of live chickens with a forklift was struck and killed early this morning by a passing motorist driving an SUV. 1 a.m. in Pacoima, Foothill Boulevard. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. According to media reports, he was a man in his 60s from Fresno, moving the chickens to a local processing facility. And the thing that we've discovered, that my daughter and I, and by the way, you can go to Ray's Farm Eggs on Facebook, at Ray's Farm Eggs. What we discovered, we were going to buy some chicks. Because of this virus in Southern California, you can't buy live chicks. And I didn't think they were moving chickens from anywhere to anywhere. But they were, but this guy had a truck full of chickens from Fresno and taking them to a chicken processing facility in Pacoima. I didn't know. So listen closely to this. A man died yesterday in a motorcycle crash in which he fell from an elevated transition road in Pacoima. The crash took place around 2 p.m. This is the eastbound 118, Simi Valley, where it ends at the 210. And you can go south to Little Tujunga underneath the northbound one. But the northbound one is a big left turn ending up northbound 210. So this guy on a motorcycle, sounds to me, having taken that road a lot of times, that he took it too fast. Anyway, the motorcyclist fell in, quote, unspecified distance, close quote, from the connector road and ended up landing on the transition road below that connects 210 to 118. He was beyond medical help, said our LA Fire Department spokesman, Brian Humphrey. He was beyond medical help. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim's leg was severed and remained on the transition road above, according to the CHP. No other vehicles were believed to have been involved. This reopened around 6:30 p.m. So my take on that is that he took eastbound 118 too fast onto that transition road, and he lost his bank, and he scraped that that barrier, and his leg came off, and he went flying down there. Yeah, and left his leg up there on the 118. So anyway, just a gnarly crash. Hashtag have you seen a free couch? Should we do the intro? Do we have time for the intro? We paid for it, but do we have time?
By the sounds of it, no.
So, should we just cut to the chase on this, Producer Joey?
I think we could on this one.
Some really outstanding entries this week. Of course, we roll them over for next week. We're kind of like Powerball, except for couches, and there's no money. So, David Garver, good for you. Have you seen a free couch at Sequoia and Rolling Hills in Fullerton? And it also comes with a single cushion armchair. And wait, there's more, Producer Joey. Mm-hmm. There's a rolled up carpet.
Okay. I needed some persuading before. But
and the multimedia stacking shelf, and apparently unlike child's trophies, some sports trophies.
Oh my God.
And then also you also see there's a Cajun injector system for a deep fried turkey. So that's what you get there at Sequoia and Rolling Hills. You get a 3-cushion couch with no obvious DNA problems with it, and then you get a chair with it. You get a rolled up carpet. There might be a body in there.
I do want to give a shout out to all of our entries this week. We had really strong ones, really awesome, great condition, good sets, complete sets, and I love the pictures of the street signs too, guys. It makes it awesome. It makes it look really, really good.
I wonder if Cure lead singer Robert Smith is excited as Joey Murata.
By the sounds of it, no.
Well, there you go. All right, thanks to Josh Saylor, the engineer, par excellence, Michael Chappé, and Joey Murata. So again, hashtag have you seen a free couch? If you entered and you didn't win, sorry. But we'll roll them over into next week. And for us, It's the end of spring break. For the rest of you, I'm not sure how LA Unified works. I think it's end of their spring break as well. So anyway, we freedom for us parents starting tomorrow morning. Thanks. And Tuesday, I will be on Kennedy on Fox Business at 6 p.m. My weekly hit with Kennedy on Fox Business is a Tuesday night, Tuesday. So thanks for playing Heavy Scene Free Couch. This is Super Hyper Local Sunday, your show of record for the final night of March 2019, March 31st. So talk to you next week. KFI AM 640. George Norrie, Coast to Coast is next. More stimulating talk. Boom. Yeah, but that hibiscus. Our friend, her friend's mom, is like from Sinaloa or somewhere, and I was asking her. Whenever I go to Vallarta Mart, and this is inside baseball. This is private. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you on Morning Map Splainer this week here on Sheep.